Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have yet another review for you guys. I will be reviewing the Ecotools Forever Favorites. So this right here was about $50 after taxes or whatever, priced at a $92 value. As you can see, it comes with 14 brushes. To create this look you see today. So I'm going to go through each brush I use and basically share with you all my experience with them. We're going to get started now. The brushes that I begin with are the eye brushes because I always start with my eyebrows and then I do my eyes before I do my full face. So the first brush I got the chance to use was the angled liner brush. And this is what I use to highlight my brow bone as well as shape the top of my brow bone with that concealer. Usually it takes me about a good 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm ashamed to do the highlight under the brow bone as well as shaping the top portion and shading out the inside of the brow to get that gradient effect. However, with that brush, it literally took me 10 seconds to do each of my brows. The texture of the actual bristles are extremely soft, and I can tell you what, it saved me a lot of product because I didn't have to keep dipping back into my concealer to do the top of the brow as well as the bottom highlight underneath the brow bone. Second brush I used was this brush right here. It's a full shadow brush, and I use that for my base coat as well as my transition color. And when I tell you guys that my eyeshadow that I use is very pigmented already, but I did not have to keep dipping back and forth into my eyeshadow look that I was going for. The airbrush concealer brush, I used that on my secondary color, which was on the inner quarters of my eyelids. The third brush I used on my eyelid was this precision blending brush. I use this for my highlight under the brow bone as well as to blend all of the other colors together for a seamless completed eye look. Now we are moving on to the brushes that I used on my face. I'm going to start with the two sponges because I used those first. So they give you a big sponge and a medium sponge. Now they also put in here a detailed blending applicator, but I didn't need this because for me to get my completed concealer look for my highlight under my eyes, this was small enough. So I used this to lay my foundation as well as to smooth it out and to blend it in seamlessly with my skin. Let me be the first to tell you that I was a little skeptical about using a sponge due to the fact that I've only used brushes to apply my foundation. However, the coverage that I got with this, I was expecting it to be medium to light because of the fact I chose to use it damp. However, I got a full coverage look with this. Now, when I did my highlighting, I used this medium-sized beauty blender. And this got in the corners of my eye as well as up underneath my lid, as well as in the tight corners of the outside of my nose, and also on the bridge of my nose perfectly. I didn't have to fight with it, and it blended it out to my desire. Now we're moving on to the actual brushes I use for my face. To set my foundation, I use the Ecotools full powdered brush that they included in the kit. And let me tell you guys, I was so amazed with this brush because the brushes I am used to using are the e.l.f. brushes that you buy out of Target. Now, those are my favorite staple brushes because I've been using them since I've been applying my own makeup. However, when I use this brush, I was a little put off, if you want me to be honest, because I felt like it wasn't picking up what I needed to pick up. But when I put it on my face, guys, it was just like, whoa. It picked up a bunch and it covered a bunch. So it's like less is more when you use these products because they are actually doing what they are designed to do. Versus if you were to use one of the other brushes, you would need to go back in to apply your translucent powder over this multiple times. So I was really pleased with this brush. For my contouring, I used the Skin Perfecting brush. And this bad boy worked a little bit too well for me. What I mean by this is I usually have to put a ton of my powder for my contouring on my brush, because for my contouring brush I usually use the Wet n Wild brushes from the Dollar Tree. So of course I would have to use a lot. However, this worked a little too well, so I had to go back and bronze up my contour a few times just so I can get the desired gradient effect, and it wasn't, and for it not to be as harsh as it was looking. So I was completely blown away by this as well. I used the micro blending brush to set my highlight with my loose powder for under my eye, as well as up the bridge of my nose and my cupid's bow and my chin. And when I tell you guys that this was very pleasing to me, I was really blown away by the amount of coverage and how it locked the powder into my skin and the other makeup. I used the defining brush right here for my blush. What can I say about this? At first I didn't like it. I was like, why don't it look like it's picking anything up? Like, I'm probably gonna have to throw this one away. But when I actually tapped in the apples of my cheek and I drug it up to my temple, the blush was not lacking at all. Like, it actually gave me the desired effect and look I actually been dreaming about having with my other brushes that I'm used to using. So I was really pleased with this brush as well. The seamless stippling brush, and this I used to contour and structure my hairline, and I was really pleased with this. Now I use this brush as a highlight for my highlight because it is a highlighter brush. It's the first highlighter brush I've ever had, so I was excited to try it. And literally, I didn't have to go in and swoop around my bronzing palette or my highlighter like I usually would do with my other brush that I usually use. I literally swept it back and forth, 1, 2, 3, and I brushed it across my cheek, and the highlight was there. So out of the 14 tools that came in the packet, I actually used only 12 because I did not use this concealer brush because I didn't need to use it, and I did not use this perfecting blender applicator, the smaller one that most people will use for up under the eyes. I did not need to use those two. But overall, guys, I'm really excited about this Forever Favorites kit that my husband got me for Christmas. This is just one of the many gifts that he got me for Christmas, and I was really excited to try it. Like, I used to look at people on the YouTube and I'm just like, you're spending X amount of dollars on these brushes for what? Now I see why they do it. So overall, I'm very pleased with the Forever Favorites by the Ecotools. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you guys have any questions about the brushes, about how I use them, about what each individual brush are for. And I'm glad you guys took the time to watch my video. Thank you for watching. I feel like your pinky is blocking some of my light.
It is not.